Hey, if you enjoyed these videos, please make sure to hit the like button, guys, and possibly consider leaving me a comment. Enjoy the video. What has 4 wheels and flies? That's right, a garbage truck. Welcome back to another AlphaStar cast. I don't know why I can't straight face this one so good, but let's hop into it. Spotted here to the top left on Kairos Junction, we have the red Zerg player. You know her well. It's
AlphaStar.
And they're a very real human, but also unknowing opponent who, oh, by the way, has won a tournament on the BattleNet. This is cool. You get little trophies for this. It is a blue
Master Player.
Yeah, this is a neat little thing to note because I guess I haven't paid too much attention to these. I've been for years asking Blizzard if there'd be a way to get a custom like base trade shield on top of the trophy. We could award these out to people who play in our tournaments. I think it would be so cool, but apparently this is actually really difficult to rig together, and thus not something they're really keen on just setting up for us. So sad to say we won't see one of those anytime soon, but after yesterday's mess up with the AlphaStar cast, I've become incredibly self-conscious about casting the games and covering the ones that we've already accidentally covered. I think my resolve for this is I would rather go through all 300 some odd AlphaStar replays, even if it means risking double casting a couple. So I'm just going to approach this going forward where even if it is a recast, we're just going to let it be. Hopefully the second time around is more interesting, because I can't possibly, every time I want to make a new video, run through the list over and over and over and over again. So I hope you guys continue to enjoy these. There'll be a mix of Pro and AlphaStar content coming out over the next week or so. I know a lot of you who tune in for AlphaStar are really only interested in AlphaStar, and I can only hope that maybe you get more interested in Starcraft too. But real quick, for those who aren't in the know, AlphaStar is an AI and artificial intelligence. It does like machine learning, DeepMind, all this cool stuff you can learn about in the description down below if you want to really get into the meaty nitty gritty of it. But one thing AlphaStar does that is really interesting is it mimics human players very well, actually. The text in the chat has been removed from the game through Deepmind's own editing of the matches, but what you should know is that AlphaStar does type good luck, have fun, and GG when it's ready to be game over type thing. So it's pretty cool the amount of effort they put into AlphaStar, not just through the actual learning part where it mimics playing like a player, but it also has some minor behavioral things like good luck, have fun, and GG, which, by the way, side note here from Rifkin, I've learned is really not such a commonplace thing in other games. Quite often, for example, in Overwatch, I would type good luck, have fun at the start of a match, and people would find that to be really pompous and kind of annoying. Or I'd type GG at the end because, well, that's what you do, right? It's like, in my mind, GG isn't because you had a great game or a good game. It's because you've both played the game out, and like baseball, it's just a formality at the end. You know, you shake the opponent's hands, you say good game. Boy, did I get screamed at a bunch for typing GG in both winning and losing situations. So anyways, look, I digress. The point is, it's cool that they put the effort into it to be very Starcraft centric. Now, AlphaStar appears to be getting really aggressive here with some Zerglings. As I went off of my side story, I did not expect a big fat all-in. That's kind of what's happening here at the doorstep of our human. That being said, though, the adept transfer there was really smooth, even if the Lynx continued attacking. I don't think she would have escaped. But with the other 2 adepts there was no way AlphaStar was going to break in. Now, this is a little awkward because, of course, if you're watching this on December 6th, 2019, I think if I timed that out correctly, you'll know that Resonating Glaives doesn't work the way it used to. So this is pre-patch. So this is just a passive attack speed by 45% at all times to adepts. But if you're watching any modern games or anything new that comes up on the channel in the next week or two, most players have just kind of resolved to say Resonating Glaives is dead. The new version of the upgrade makes it pretty unusable. I had some high hopes for it when I first read, but TLDR, they only get the attack speed bonus after their transfer completes, which is a little bit difficult to time out for the attacks. It's just not what it used to be, I guess, but our human player is getting really aggressive, and this gateway combo is really funny to see. The reason people do this is because this will allow the pylon to warp in instantly instead of those slow warp-ins. And it is about the same cost as a Warp Prism anyways. A Warp Prism will cost 200 minerals. So just having this out there on the front line is a really great reinforcement point. Because this is pretty all in with the Resonating Glaives, you're going to want all these units on the front line as fast as possible. Now this first transfer of the Adepts is not looking so good, and unfortunately for our Masters player, they didn't get the drones from this attack. Normally the consequence is like, okay, you know what, you killed the Adepts, but the Adepts killed like 14 workers in the process. Not quite the case this game. Even with some focus fire towards the end, only netting 4 worker kills. I'd say borderline unacceptable for a human, but at the same time, very well defended out of AlphaStar. Very quick to respond to the Adepts and didn't let them get too out of hand. Having these out in the map like this is a little dangerous. AlphaStar doesn't know about this warp-in location, so it's not cleaning it up, but she does go across the map for the counterattack, and... Ooh. You know what? 1 DT warped in here stops all the lings, so that wouldn't be a problem. DT's warped in on the other side of the map. There is a Spore Crawler, however, and the follow-up to this is really fascinating. It's DT's into double Robo. Now, like, as you can see here between the Adepts and the Dark Templar, there's some damage, no question about it. Detection's a big problem. Oh, gets completely caught and shut down. And AlphaStar has held this cheese really well. You know, it's not even cheese, it's category of all-in. Cheese would be if you like, you know, 48 proxy or something. But regardless, this very annoying style of play has been defended and deflected. And AlphaStar, unfortunately, doesn't seem to have a solution for this wall. Realistically, this many Zerglings could tear down the gateways or the Cybercore and just break on in. But something is making AlphaStar hesitate to do that. And also, ooh, there are not Spore Crawlers in every base. Specifically, the Natural has one missing. So the drones are pretty quick to be pulled away. Nice reaction out of AlphaStar. DT getting surrounded. There is a way to deal with this without detection, but no problem as the Spore Crawler has been brought here. Unfortunately, that leaves this base exposed now, so it's a little bit of back and forth. The Adepts inside the mineral line could probably fight those Zerglings, so getting that third base shouldn't require a cancel. I think this DT has done about as much work as the Adepts earlier, by the way. It's funny just watching AlphaStar run this back and forth. Does AlphaStar not have a lair? Okay, so where's the Overseer? For whatever reason, AlphaStar being really reluctant only just now gets an Overseer. Maybe that was the lair timing and I just missed it, but the point is, that was a lot of chaos caused by one Dark Templar, and whether you're human or whether you're an artificial intelligence, it's not fun dealing with that. Now the follow-up for this, the double Robo, this is for Immortals for now, but I think we're going to see some Colossus out of this. In my honest opinion, I think Disruptors would not work as well against the mass amount of Lings. Maybe if this becomes more about the Roaches, those could be a better alternative option, but... Oh, these probes are going to get cleaned up. Between the DTs and the Adepts, though, this base should not fall. Losing the Pylon does hurt a little bit. That's the reinforcement point, of course, but... Ooh. I don't know. This is a tough game to call right now. If I'm being honest, the fact that just AlphaStar has so many bases on the map and has a really good economy really tells me that, like, this should be... If this goes to the long game, then this is an AlphaStar game, but little moves like this with the double Immortals is huge. These tear through buildings, no problem. 50 damage a shot. So knocking down some of these hatcheries and stripping away some of that lead puts AlphaStar back on more even footing. Now, the army supplies are pretty different in size. You see AlphaStar's actually got double that of what our human has in this case. But this is a weird game because there's a couple of strange exceptions we need to consider. One being that the type of army supply is going to favor our Protoss, even when outgunned 2-to-1 like this. The Immortals are just made to deal with Roaches. No problem, no questions. You've got barriers too to soak some hits. Beyond that, you've got the Colossus out there to wash off the Zerglings. And then, of course, when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, Adepts are usually not that effective against things like Roaches and Ravagers, but with Resonating Glaives, we'll be attacking very fast. This is, again, a numbers game, brute force tactic. I feel like AlphaStar should win this in any general A-move situation, but there's going to be micro out of our human player, and that's what's going to cause the question mark of who wins this game. It does feel overwhelmingly in favor of AlphaStar, though. I'm not going to paint this a different way. By the power of Colossus sitting behind that wall, unfortunately the Archon won't be able to get back. Oh, but walks out into the army. Oh, that's not the right move. That's not the right play. Backing away into the wall the best they can. Oh, the Warp Prism, where is it? Because the Archon and the Immortal stuck on the wrong side of this wall. But these two Colossus take down about a third of the Zerglings. And yes, there's an attack going on over here, unfortunately not being deflected and defended. Warp Prism brings the units back here, and it's a consolidated effort now at the Natural. Type of army supply matters a lot less when you don't have much of it to fight with in the first place, and that third base is dead while this goes on. AlphaStar is a cruel mistress, but slowly and surely she is chipping away at our human players' defenses. The two Colossus are being micro pretty well. 15 kills on one, 17 on the other. But I mean, it's going to be 5 bases to barely 2. I say barely 2 because the mains is, of course, getting mined out as we speak. Stuttering back a little bit. The force field is great. The Lings don't get on top of this. In fact, the Colossus got a lot more kills. 20 now and 18 on the other. In an endless effort where AlphaStar can't break this, cool. You know, the army supplies get a little bit closer to even, but in no situation, at no time, is our human going to have the money to break out of this. AlphaStar can just throw bodies at them for the rest of this game. Oh, these lasers are going crazy. I don't know what's happening with the animation there. The disruptors, if there was like 3 disruptors in play, there's a real chance to break this army. 3 disruptors could kill like 5 of those Ravagers in one shot, no problem. But that is easier said than done. And as you'll note, AlphaStar's actually been pulling away and splitting from these disruptors pretty darn well, which is a little surprising to me, I gotta say. But oh, none of that one! None of your life, that's the big shot. These are the big shots needed to get back into this game. The front wall's been broken though, and this army is starting to get really bold. AlphaStar not wanting to wait much longer. Disruptor shot goes off, kills 3 more of the Ravagers. Great shot to the center of the army, but still 100 army supplied to 38. Back into the corner. Where's that Warp Prism going? She needs to be back here microing the freaking Colossus. Or does she? Oh my god, hold on. This is so close. Look, you know what? At the end of the day, it's still like, you know, the probes are dead. No third base. As cool as the defense was, so this fight went really well for our human. Look at the resources lost, right? Close to even. The game itself is not close to even. 62 workers, 5 bases, to the barely functioning 1.5 bases with 26 probes. Even if these disruptors all land monster hits, I don't think there's enough. Now, AlphaStar splits, by the way, are far from clean against these disruptors, but they have been enough so far. What do we at the kill count here? 22 and 25, 10 and 3. And these are big kills too. The Colossus are more just like Zerglings, whatever. But the Disruptors are killing like 5 or 3 Ravagers per shot, which is huge. The range of the Colossus is pretty excellent for doing exactly this, just poking away at the army. So they're at 9 range. There's no way to really engage this. You're just kind of forced to run away. And if the Roaches decide to turn around and fight, that's where the Disruptors come into play. So giving chase all the way back to the base, maybe our human feels a little bit more confident than they should. They do know about the extra bases though. Oh, that disruptor shot! Oh, that's a big money shot, but still the disruptor itself goes down. And it is a lot easier for AlphaStar to remake 12 roaches than it is for our human player to remake a single disruptor. Keep your eye on the supply tab, guys. As cool as this game is, it's still a done deal in my opinion. Even if pushing into here, there's no force fields to back this up. There's that one disruptor coming in now. AlphaStar just needs to not play scared. In fact, AlphaStar's forcing out a possible base trade. Yeah, there's just the GG tap out. Ladies and gentlemen, AlphaStar takes another victory here in the AlphaStar series. If you want to keep seeing more of these videos, please make sure to like the video, leave me a comment. It's a nice thing for me to read, and I'll try to get back to you. See you guys on the next one.